is it unstable? Oh my god, they're actually, they're actually piloting it with things like that. That's so fucking cool. Actual real life mech. Yo, what's up? This one's called Our Biggest Project Yet, Spider Mech. And this might be the craziest thumbnail I've ever seen. I'm not even joking. Look at this shit.
So I take on building the world's largest rideable hexapod.
It's actually rideable. It's a real life mech.
A passion project of mine that has taken up the past 1.5 years of my life. What started out as a simple 3-month build turned into a 1.5 years of failures, breakdowns, and rewrites.
Bro,
So close.
and I think we have to cut our losses with this project.
This is why we don't build mechs with legs.
Oh. We even made 3 entirely different videos before scrapping them in favor of this video that you are watching right now.
The final everything video.
Do I ever have a story for you?
Oh, I'm ready. Day 1.
It all started when I came across a video of a Princess Auto excavator which was capable of orienting itself by using the bucket.
That's so cool.
And maneuver. So what stops more legs lifting more bodies?
I see the idea.
As I was working on power loader and other hydraulic projects, I was like,
Oh, we have to watch this. What the fuck? They made a real life transformer.
All right, guys.
Oh yeah, it's on his shirt. Look.
Other hydraulic projects, I was like, this is
Look. That's the thing on his shirt.
cool. Like, we could do this. All right, guys. The plan is simple. Weld together 6 excavators, wire in all the engines, and then program the legs. I think we do it in 3 months.
That was the biggest lie of their lives.
The first month went great.
We partnered with Princess Auto for this project. They provided us with 6 excavators and an in-store spending budget. Without them, this project wouldn't be possible.
That's 6 excavators is a lot of money. Like it's not like they're just renting them or lending them. They're disassembling the excavators. They're gonna be gone. I mean, I'm sure you can salvage some parts afterwards, but this shit has got to be very
It's gonna
expensive.
be a rectangle. Like, the plan was literally cut the frame.
It's honestly crazy that the sponsors agreed for 6 excavators for a single video. Like that's Mr. Beast levels of price tags.
Shove some box tube through it, throw a few welds on. Each leg could just do the exact same motion. The only difference is what time that motion happens at.
Yeah, so that's just like a programming thing, right? So like, so long as you have the 6 excavators slapped, you know, onto a single frame, I guess the only part after that is just fine tuning and programming. It sounds possible in theory, but then again, look how big the video is, and like they said, like they showed in the intro that shit's gonna go bad.
Large. It wouldn't fit through the door. The legs were way too close to each other, which made the frame even bigger and even less stable. So we were like, okay, we have to make this a hexagonal frame. And that just brought so many extra complexities. The joints and all the angles had to be super precise. The motion of the legs.
Oh, was that a 3D model? Okay, I was wondering why it looked so bizarre.
Every leg had to have a specific motion profile, and that just instantly was like, okay, we're in way over our heads.
Yeah, so the whole thing,
everything lines up perfectly. You get to the real world, and honestly, I should have expected this. We started chopping these frames apart, we shoved them in the box tube, and then we started laying it out, and we're like, what is going on? Like, one side is longer than the other, and we're like, none of these legs are where they're supposed to be. Obviously, they're mass manufactured, so like, we should have known this. If the frame is gonna be that far out, then like, the motion of each leg is gonna be completely different, and our stress analysis that we did in SolidWorks is just not gonna match up. Like, something is going to break.
Yeah, because shit is not perfectly, you know, you won't have perfectly consistent, like, manufacturing.
That required us to start chopping the frames apart that were, you know, supposed to be used for alignment. We're now being completely cut off and re-welded, and we basically had to tolerance the frames ourselves. We had to make jigs, we had to make like brackets.
That's really fucked.
Like a 2-day welding job to over a week of just like trying to get this thing perfectly squared up.
It's a lot of work. I mean, a week right away, right? The budget for the project, the time budget is 3 months, and they've already committed to 1 week of it.
The legs, I was kind of feeling defeated at that point. And I was like, if I've had this many problems already, this thing is gonna be a nightmare. We started attaching the legs, and things were actually going pretty well. Like, each leg was attaching properly, the spacing was all correct.
Absolutely.
Everything was moving smoothly. It was looking epic. And I was starting to see what this thing could become. I knew this thing was gonna be large, but actually seeing it in person, this thing is huge. This is going really
I mean,
well.
it's crazy. It's 6 excavators with a fucking seat in the middle, I'm guessing. Or maybe a platform. Oh, imagine a platform where you fucking pilot it with 2 arms. Oh, that'd be cool.
I mean, a lot of anticipation.
Sorry, what was the note? Editor Rob. You're about to see if it stands. What's the feeling like? Okay.
I mean, a lot of anticipation, a lot of like, please work. Please
Absolutely
work.
fucking
There's
scary.
So much riding
For
on
sure.
this. I had a lot of doubts. I was like, what if the welds crack? You know, what if the
Day 126 already. Jesus Christ. So they're already over time budget. But I mean, like one extra month for a project like this is absolutely understandable.
frame is slightly twisted, or we have a hose pop off, and this whole thing just comes crashing to the ground. Honestly,
I'm just afraid, like, how much will this shit cost to make?
I told everyone this, and I was surprised that anyone even volunteered to step foot onto this thing.
Yeah, this thing is gonna self-explode. Anyone want to try it? Just saying, it might not self-explode. There's gonna be real fucking banging fun. Oh my fucking god, that's so cool. That is insane. Ooh, is it unstable? Oh my god, they're actually, they're actually piloting it with things like that. That's so fucking cool. Actual real life mech. And it's falling apart.
Holy
Is it?
crap.
Is it
All
falling
this
apart?
work is
I couldn't tell what happened. What happened? Was it just an uneven landing?
finally
Maybe.
paying off.
You okay? So we need some computerized control to be able to make this thing stable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can't have fucking
Because
5
right
people
now-
doing that.
It's a little hard to drive with 4 individual pilots.
That was the most scared I've ever been, going 0 feet.
Well, we know the system can lift its weight.
Now what? Are they taking it outside? Oh right, that's them experimenting. Well, of course.
Did I see today?
$131. Oh, is it actually walking? Oh no, they're just testing a single leg. Okay, that makes sense. I guess you do that.
Let's take a minute to talk about hexapod feet. As you can tell, I've replaced the bucket on this leg with a brand new design of a hexapod foot. The buckets, well, they're great for digging, but unfortunately they don't have great surface contact. With a new design, we have a
That makes sense. That makes sense. Of course, buckets. I mean, the only reason to use the buckets is for the quirkiness effect, you know, for like, and it's also less effort. But also, I don't think a bucket can support very much weight, right? Like, can it? Oh no, it probably can, right? Because you're supposed to dig up a shit ton of dirt and like rocks with it. So maybe it can.
lots of ground contact, have more motion with this cylinder, and it looks way cooler.
Yeah, actual spider.
Ideally, we like to be able to drive the entire thing with just one pilot. To do this, we need a computerized control system. The whole control system starts right here, at the Linux computer. It's responsible
I love that they're controlling this thing with the PS4 controller. That's fucking sick.
for calculating how to move each individual leg based on the user's input. That data
Is that even a PS? Is that a PS3? No. That's a DualSense 4 for sure.
over to our CUN Bus Revolution Pi.
DualShock 4, whatever. Who cares?
It's responsible for taking data in and figuring out how to move the legs to the right position. It does this by first
I
calculating
don't know why I did that. I just felt like
the
that.
position of each individual joint based on the rope potentiometer. It then compares that value to where
Oh, that's
the leg
cool.
needs to be. It then sends signals
What
to
a-
our servos to move the valves to their desired positions. Unfortunately,
rope gets
the
caught.
system does not really speak the same language as the servos.
So you need a converter?
It outputs 24-volt signals, and the servos require 5-volt inputs. So we've created a PCB using Altium Designer and got it manufactured by JLC PCB to act as a translator between the CUN Bus system
Yep,
and
makes
our
sense.
servos. By the way, you can try Altium for free and get 25% off your purchase.
There we go. There's the sponsor. Unfortunately, the ad read is very short.
Working on the control system and software.
As you would imagine, there's a lot of code. In order to test this without
Yep.
needing to use the actual Mech hex, I'm using simulation. This simulation takes
So how much freedom of movement do these legs have? Can they go left and right as well? I mean, they have to, right? If you want to turn. It looks like the joints can break so fucking easily. Not gonna lie, like not here maybe, but like at these parts right here. Like this absolutely looks like something that would break, especially if it's a double joint that can go both like this and like that.
takes the CAD data from SolidWorks and the hexapod math combines it into one to give us an accurate visual of the
Yeah,
Mech.
because each leg just does this. See, for some reason I assumed the legs could only do the digging forward motion, but I guess that's not the case.
We were feeling confident, perhaps a little too confident, as we were soon to enter.
Better controller. Oh, they upgraded the controller. You know what that means, right? It's all gonna work out.
Hell. the design of this project is critical. And just like our other projects, we use SolidWorks. SolidWorks is our favorite sponsor because it is super powerful design software which empowers us to refine our ideas into manufacturing designs and build crazy things like Mega Hex. For the first time ever, SolidWorks is available to you guys as the 3D experience SolidWorks for makers offer. This is actually a huge deal because SolidWorks is one of those industry-leading softwares that was normally only available to big companies. But with the makers offer, anyone can get access at a super affordable price of only $99 per year or $9.99 per month. Plus, we have negotiated to get our viewers an extra 20% off if you use my link. This is like getting SolidWorks for 99% off, which is unheard of in our industry. You can get the world's best design tools and turn your ideas into reality, or browse the gallery of online models. Join the global community of creative makers today and use my link to get 20% off your subscription. Big thanks to SolidWorks for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get Mega Hex walking.
167. How many? That is a. Well, like. Almost 6 months. That's almost double the planned time. What the fuck? We're only 7 minutes in. What even happens next? Oh my god.
After countless hours of troubleshooting, we finally have all the hardware and software integrated together for the first test of a Mega Hex leg. As you see behind me is the simulation of Mega Hex walking. The black leg is the real-time position of this foot, and the transparent legs are where
The target, the goal. Okay, I see how they do this. That makes sense.
Mega Hex wants to move. So if you can see, me moving these potentiometers updates the real-time position. So theoretically, once we get this engine started up, the Mega Hex leg should move into the same position as the simulation.
Okay.
And once we give it a command to walk, hopefully we'll have Mega Hex take its first steps.
Let's see it.
Starting up in 3, 2.
Oh, I love that it's powered by a bunch of fucking.
Standing out. Try going like this.
Oh.
Well, it didn't explode and catch on fire, so that's a good start.
It looks like it was trying to move, and that's what the simulation was telling us. I just don't think it was trying hard enough. We have a bit of tuning to do on the joints.
So what does that mean?
We'll see if we can make it a little bit better.
Okay, could go left and right.
We need to slow
Good,
down the
good.
simulation.
So hopefully it has a better chance of keeping up.
I'm trying to figure out what actually I need to do to slow it down. The
It
way
sounds
we're
so
thinking.
fucking crazy
Add
when that
another
thing is running.
50% to the PID values?
Yeah.
Still not responsive enough.
Not on the tibia, tarsus, or femur.
No.
Turn them up.
I like that it's got a
I think the
femur.
femur is what we need more of right now. I tripled the leg lift height. That's a lot better.
Okay, yep.
All right, let's see it. Oh,
Okay,
it's
double
not
the
keeping
femur.
up. What's going on?
Heck, just go like 3 times more.
That's walking. So what we're doing is we're turning up all the gains, so it's gonna try about twice as hard as it did last time to try to keep up.
The concern with this is if we go too high, the leg will basically rip itself apart because it'll start oscillating. As it sees an error, it'll try to overcompensate for it and basically
Oh, they've
overshoot
got
it.
like an auto
That
detection
gets
system,
worse
of
and
course.
worse
So
and worse.
yeah, that makes
The leg's
sense.
basically going full speed forward, full speed back, full speed forward.
So yeah, it sees that it's in the wrong position and then it sends itself the other way. Okay, that makes sense.
Or full speed back, and doing nothing of what we're trying to get it to do.
So they have to manually shut it down if it starts doing that, right? Just use the kill switch.
Falcon, I think I see an issue over here. So the reason we have all of these plots and simulations, everything set up, is so we can diagnose weird issues like this.
Absolutely.
We start looking through the code, trying to figure out like, what do we change? You know, we revert back to the old code, we run it, still having the same issue. We're like, what is going on? Like, why is
And this is only one leg that's fucking up. I mean, obviously, once you have the code sorted, you apply it to all legs, you know, minus directions. But if there's technical, physical limitations, I forgot the word, then that could be a real
one
problem.
joint just not moving at all?
So all 3 of these joints seem to be tracking fairly well, except for the femur. I think there might be an issue with the servo.
Oh, the freaking servo. Oh yeah, these are toasty.
Oh
That one on the
no!
bottom especially. you have the thermal gun?
If
Oh,
something's
yeah, that thing is over 100 degrees
Oh, that's
Celsius.
bad.
See, the other ones comparatively
some
are
tag
like
burns up.
60, which is still not great. These windings are supposed to be this bright orange color. That black coil takes this motor.
Yeah, the servo's burnt. It's
Replacing a
fucking
single
crisp.
servo would take like 3 hours. Like, oh great, another servo failed.
Oh,
Well, there
so
goes another week.
they have to do a
But
whole
obviously, no, we have to
replacement
replace
mid-test.
all the servos, and we have to figure out a solution, which ended up being changing different springs.
When the bigger spring was installed, every time the servo moves, it has to work on compressing the spring. With the smaller spring, the servo's not going to be working nearly as hard, therefore generating less heat. The second
Okay,
thing I did
sounds good.
was I added this computer fan to keep some fresh air moving across the servos to keep them all just a little bit cooler.
And with different springs, all of the tuning we'd done that week was just out the door, completely useless. And that was just like a huge hit to our
Oh yeah, that's a whole week of work gone. Cause yeah, you tuned the whole thing based off of what the current, what the resistance of the servo will be by default, and now
with testing this.
That's actually so fucked up that it's almost like a 2/3 of a year already. They were planning to do a quarter of a year, 2/3. I mean, it's more than double the allotted time by now. That's really bad. That's gonna cost a lot. Like if it's this amount of people working on a project, I mean, first of all, just the price to serve, like the people have to eat and shit, so money goes on that, right? There, and this video is like, it's just so much work going into something that is not generating revenue until after it's out. I mean, the sponsor can't really pull out anymore because they already gave them the tractors, so that's nice at least. I was thinking like, fuck, what if the sponsor pulls out and they just fucking take the tractors back and the money or whatever. I don't know if they supply them with money. He didn't say that, but I'm assuming not, right? 6 tractors already sounds like a lot of like a big
This whole
boost.
thing. I was starting up that engine, stopping it every like 10 minutes. So we're like, all right, we need new engines that have a remote start, but also were a little bit more powerful, which meant we can use bigger pumps and get a lot more flow, hopefully increasing our speed and power on all the joints.
Okay.
So we spent like 2 weeks just like pulling all the old engines off, pulling all the old pumps off, undoing all of our hydraulic. Luckily, mostly everything was, drop-in replacements, but it was
HP.
still
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of work.
The engines are measured in HP. What does that? Oh, horsepower, right? Okay, it's horsepower, guys. in the bottom right, it was there.
Rewire
There
all
we go.
everything.
See the old engines.
Was
So the new ones are
drop-in
like
replacements, but
what? 50%? No, that's not 50%. Oh yeah, it is. They're like 50% better. That's really good. More than 50 actually.
it was still a lot of work to rewire all the engine starters together, rewire all the stops together. We had to add that to our emergency stop system so it would actually shut all the engines off. And that was a lot of work.
And I mean, like 2 weeks, another 2 weeks. This would be the most stressful thing ever. Just being on a budget and having to keep working on something that you don't even know how much money it'll bring you. In fact, it's probably, that's stressful.
Yeah, the exhaust, honestly, we could have probably gotten away without it, but even just having one engine running and trying to like get a vent over top of it while we were testing was just really annoying. And I was like, there's 6 of these things. Not only is it gonna be crazy loud, like right around me,
Yep.
but also it just smelled terrible, and I was really worried about my health or anyone
Yeah.
else's.
You don't want to fucking kill yourself piloting your own mech because it's shooting gas into your face. That would be the stupidest fucking way to get lung cancer or something. You know what I mean? Like, really, just it's not worth.
Thing. I got Mike to actually take some time and plumb in some proper exhausts, as well as some proper baffles.
You stay healthy, avoid smoking for your entire life, just to then suddenly fucking. I don't know if this guy smokes or not. I just random assumption, but assuming he doesn't, right? You stay. I think he fucking does, regardless. You keep your lungs in a functional state for your entire life, for however many. I mean, at least 20 years, right? I don't know how old he is. To just fucking waste all that progress, all that safety you've been putting on yourself just by standing in your own project that you're working on for a couple hours a day. That's yeah.
Quiet the whole thing down.
Even if it costs you a bit more money an extra week, it's worth doing, I think.
And exhaust it out the back so it's not blowing into my face. At this point was like 5 months in, like 2 months over the estimated time.
5 months. Wait, what the am I stupid? 237 divided by 31, we'll say. Yeah, that's almost 8 months. Okay, sure.
Online. We still have not seen a single proper stand-up test with all the new engines and the new pumps that we had to get and the replacement servos that, you know, didn't burn out, the new springs, the budget was just like, we spent the entire sponsorship budget.
So the sponsors also gave them a budget. Well, that's gone now. I'm sure that whoever's like, I don't know if this guy's the main guy behind it, but or if he's just like their speaking person, but whoever's behind it must be fucking sweating their nuts off. I cannot imagine how this feels. I mean, like, I've worked on limited time projects before, don't get me wrong, but nowhere near this scale and this this extent.
And now we're just like, this is coming out of our pockets.
Yep.
This was the day. Actually, not the first day. We tried it the first day, and then some of our engines weren't firing up. We tried it the second day. We're getting hydraulic leaks.
So this is the first time they actually got the test going.
We tried it the third day. Some of our sensors were misreading values.
So we're gonna fire up all 6 engines and see if the platform will rise to the air.
Now it stood up with manual control. This is without people on it.
This is without people on it, fully computerized.
I wonder why. Do they just not want to risk it by being on top of the platform? I mean, it doesn't look like it can kill you. I guess if one of the fucking legs snaps off, it just flies up like that. Like, it could happen, right? In theory, you know what I mean? Like, if the leg is attached to a platform, like the platform's this and the leg is like that, and it just goes and fucking slams your head like that will take your head clean off, I think, or at least like break your bones, and like you whether your head stays on or not doesn't matter. You're dead. So maybe there's a safety measure that could make sense. But piloting a mech is so much cooler than not piloting. I'm sure they'll do it eventually, right? I guess if it's just a stand test, there's really no point to be on top of it. You just need to be on top while, but at the same time remote controlling it. Like this massive robot with just a fucking PS control, like, I don't know why I started making printer sounds.
Just hit a single button and the whole thing should
Those are printer sounds. That's not how mech sounds. Mechs.
rise more or less evenly off the ground.
Safely, right?
That's not what I was trying to do.
Near it, should be okay.
Firing up!
Down the left. Alright, yeah.
We try to stand this whole thing up, and at first it's like going well. And
Yeah,
this whole
yeah.
thing, like 5 feet in the air, starts curling up like a dying spider.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it actually looks like a dying spider. No, what the fuck is going on?
Me and Ben are just like looking at each other, being like, "Are you doing this? Like, I don't have the controller. I'm not doing this."
Like, at this point you hit the kill switch, but will you be able to get it back up without breaking anything now that it's in this awkward position? Or is anything gonna break by just landing on its feet if you kill it? Oh, that's so fucked up.
And he stopped, and we're both like confused as hell. We're like,
How do we fix that?
When I undo each stop, it's gonna do something. Dropping. Might have had a program crash.
Oh,
it could have been any number of things. It could have been hydraulic issues. It could have been software issues. It could have been electrical issues. It could have.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many fucking steps that this thing goes through. You can't just predict it. So basically, I have to troubleshoot every step, check to make sure everything's functional, and after it is, launch for a second time and pray to Jesus that this doesn't happen again.
Been, mechanical issues with the valve getting stuck or something. Luckily, we look over all the data, and it turned out just to be a simple code change.
Okay, awesome. That's the best thing you could have hoped for.
Actually trying to go past its limit. 2 lines of code, uploaded it again, ran the system.
Restarting.
And this thing just perfectly rose into the air.
Yeah!
That's so sick.
We got it.
All the legs on the ground. It was a sight to behold.
Fuck yeah. And I like that it has little stomps so that the thing doesn't break. Oh, it's actually walking.
Lifted up and moved around, so we're like, okay, we're on the right track.
Right, step 2, stand on it and
how to get
fucking.
this thing outside because there was no room in the shop to test it.
Yep. 306. 2 months and it's a whole
Spent
year.
the last 8 months or something working on this.
8
Now we're just dragging it out of the concrete.
Oh, that's painful.
The simulations were working.
Starting robot.
Come on. Please don't die. No, what is it? No, is it good?
And like this thing just like barely lifted its foot up. Just like
Oh, it's got a seat now. Look at the top. There's a chair.
Stumbles over, just like dropping the weight onto every single
That's sick.
leg.
The ones that there's a lot of load on them, they're not really moving. It brings the leg over,
but it doesn't actually have that much force to actually push its own body forward.
So it just slides on the
Overall,
floor?
It's not on fire, and we didn't break anything, I don't think. So
But there's 6 of the legs, so you can do something with that.
good first test. And we're looking
Absolutely.
at this data. We're looking at this thing walk.
I should
We
stop
changed a
saying
lot
absolutely.
of tuning values.
Absolutely.
We changed the way it's going to try to walk.
And every test following that, we'd spend a day dragging this thing out. It would like stand up, take 2 steps, one leg would fumble, or the position would be off. The whole thing would just tip, damage something. It was just so frustrating.
That's-
It was really upsetting just to see this thing slowly damage itself more.
And like every time you fix something, if it keeps falling and hurting itself every time, like eventually every single part is going to be replaced. You know what I mean? Like, oh, a leg broke. Okay, now we have to get new legs. Oh, a piston is suddenly fucking pushed too hard. Now all the other pistons are broken because it fumbled in a weird way. Or, oh, the tech is suddenly damaged. Oh, that part of the code, this is broken. Now we have to spend a week rewriting something. This is going to, like, the fact that he just keeps damaging. You can only fix a thing so much before it, like, for how long? Oh, no. And it's, look, day 336.
More.
That, oh, days
Bogdan,
just going
we left
by
some
and
tape
by.
behind, wore it all the way.
We just lost our alternator.
Do we have enough fluid in the reservoir?
We got our dead leg.
Why are we having issues all of a sudden? Should I just...
Because it's just been tested so much, right? Like, it's not... Something just dies eventually on a mech like this. And if it was functioning perfectly and it was running like as smoothly as possible for a while, maybe it wouldn't kill itself as much, and then this shit wouldn't wear out often. But the fact that it keeps crashing all the time, I bet contributes a lot to it wearing out quicker.
Bump the starting threshold up a little bit?
The issue of it dropping as it's taking steps has gotten a lot worse.
So this wasn't happening before. It's not a programming thing. It's just like the tech is just falling apart.
That sensor's
Oh
gone.
my god.
Yeah, I don't think it's going. This one?
We haven't changed anything.
One more try. Now, why are the servos? Their legs aren't moving up now.
I think we've killed the starter on this motor right here. It's at a regular interval.
Oh yeah, we f***ed that wheel up.
Break them in half a second.
I agree. It was just
We're so f***ing close.
everything is set up right now to work, and now the engines are being problematic. It's ready.
And then the next part is gonna break after that, man. That's
It's good to go. We got everything. It's tuned. 6 legs are working. The efficiency of the testing. It's not like, oh, make a simple code change, run it again. Make a simple code change.
yeah,
run it
yeah,
again.
because you have to boot the whole engine up again. There's a lot of steps that
No,
go
like
into.
if something goes wrong, if one sensor fails, you spend a week fixing it, drag it back out.
And like, for some tests, I'm assuming you can do a little change on the fly. But even then, you have to fully boot it down and boot it back up. So even then, you're wasting like an hour.
You know that right now,
Their controller just becomes better and better with every fucking... every cut we see, the controller just looks more advanced. Now it's got an antenna. It's like fucking industrial looking. Previously, it was just a PS4. And then it went to PS5 controller. Now it's this one.
our femur, which is our main lifting cylinder, doesn't have enough power when we're lifting 3 legs at a time.
That makes sense. It is a lot of weight to carry for just for the other 3 legs.
So what's happening is when we're giving
So you have to upgrade the legs now.
for the other cylinders, it's slowly dropping. So after 2 or 3 steps, the actual frame, which was 4 or 5 feet above the ground, is now basically touching the ground. So we want to make sure that when it's taking steps, it's got enough pressure and it's got enough flow to sustain
Pressure,
that height.
Daryl,
pressure isn't just the force exerted, right?
take a look at this data.
Or what does that mean? This is Daryl. He is. Wait. Well, let's just read. Let's just read this.
The actual. So we want to make sure that when it's taking steps, it's got enough pressure and it's
Pressure equals the force exerted per unit area.
got
Okay,
enough
so it's like
flow
okay, I see.
to sustain that height.
Daryl, take a look at this data.
This is Daryl. He's on the video team. He has no idea what he's looking at. Oh, okay. Right.
If you want to zoom in or whatever, take a look.
Okay, based off of that spot
I mean, this data is it's super easy to analyze.
right there,
Yeah.
just gonna need a little bit more work.
Right there.
Guys, just gonna need a bit more work.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you need to do some like programming to like, you know, like probably should be done in a couple of days.
I think I know exactly what he means.
Couple days, maybe.
The femur needs more work. Like
100%. 100%. That's what I was
it needs
gonna
more
say.
displacement over time.
That's how it looks to me as well. Judging on that graph, guys.
I was gonna say femur.
100%. Oh, we just need to double it then.
Double it.
So whatever the screw is set to on the pressure thing, just double it. It's called the pressure relief. If we just turn it a little bit, should make Mega Hex walk better. Still not perfect.
So they're effectively overclocking the fucking pistons, right? That can go bad.
Perfect, but it is definitely a
Push
lot
up too
better.
hard, they fucking kill themselves, then you have an extra problem on your hands.
When we're seeing it walk backwards, the body was not dropping nearly as much as it used to. And we didn't blow off any hydraulic lines, which is really good too.
Okay.
So
Hey,
I
good.
want to ride it.
Oh.
Serious are you about that, Boggy?
Am I good to ride it?
Anybody you need to give any last words to?
I would not strap myself in. I think that is a mistake. You want to be able to get out instantly. Like, that thing is collapsing, fucking run away. If something's gonna explode, you better not, like, you don't want to waste your time on strapping yourself. You're not, like, at that big of a height, right? Just jump off, try run. Or that's how I would do it, at least. Maybe, you know, what do I know? I'm just sitting here watching this video at home.
I don't think this thing will kill me. Worst case scenario, just like mild injuries.
I mean, okay, if it tumbles to the side and you're still strapped into the seat. See, no, I think the seatbelt is actually a really bad idea. What do I know, right? But at the same time, I just don't think this is...
Boy, was he
Unseatbelt yourself, please. Like, that seems safer. Oh, look at that controller arm! It's like on an actual extension, like in Warframe. I don't know if you've ever flown a ship in Warframe, but it's like you're like on like a huge, extended stick, like a wheel but it's like super big and it's like two sticks that you. Now walk, walk. Oh.
first like rise up off the ground, like when you're all the way up high, it feels really satisfying. When it starts dropping off, it really loses a lot. But honestly, the ride is smoother than I expected. Like we need to max out all the motions. I think we need to increase that step over distance.
Max out all the motions. Double the motions, guys.
Because when it's loaded, it's not moving very much, and it's slipping a lot.
If we can get the legs off the ground, for sure it'll walk so much better.
See, those
So yeah, from what I understand, right? I might be misinterpreting this, but the legs are so they're not. So here's the leg, and it's by like this by default, right? Then they kind of raise it, and it goes like that, and it's kind of like. So it kind of has some grip on its way out. Now what they want is that way it's not gonna drag itself back as it takes the next step. You know what I mean? It's basically just wasting energy at this.
bring it back inside for now. Lucky for us, Princess Auto sold other sizes of hydraulic cylinders, which were almost perfect.
Let's go.
We decided to try smaller cylinders on the tibia and larger cylinders on the femur.
We made the cylinder bigger
Don't you want larger ones everywhere? Or am I misunderstanding something?
because this joint was lifting a majority of the weight of the Mega Hex, and it wasn't quite standing up with a slightly smaller cylinder.
And who came up with the solution?
My grandfather, 6 months ago. I'm not kidding.
So Bogdan, you know how many days it's been they've been working on this project?
Hey Daryl, you know how many days I wanted to punch you in the face?
Yeah, they all feel it. I feel third person pain from this because I'm not the one working on this. But to have your fucking baby dragged across the concrete, kind of rough.
Oh, they're all landing wrong.
I mean, yeah, I guess they have to do the whole recalibration again now that they have new pistons. So it's gonna take a little bit of work to get used to get it walking again. But I mean, they've taken a few steps, right? They got it to walk. It just was very, very inefficient in terms of like how much it was walking in place, basically. Oh no! Oh no! Something bust.
We sprung a leak. We killed the cylinder.
Is this the one they made smaller? I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it, guys. Okay, remember how they said like, oh, they made one of the pistons smaller? Well, there we fucking go. I said, don't you want to make them both bigger? You don't. Unless this is the one they made smaller and not this one. In which case, I am absolutely wrong, and I take back everything I said. But allow me to feel smart for a bit. Okay, if I'm wrong, actually don't correct me. Just leave a smiley face in the comments, okay? I'll know that I'm wrong, but I like the rest of the people won't know I'm stupid. Like the new people coming into this channel, you know what I mean? Like they won't know I'm dumb, so they won't be hesitant to subscribe, which is what you should do. It's like almost 40 minutes into the video and I still haven't done a plug. Well, what's up with that? Boys, you know, do the thing, yeah? Come on. It helps. All right.
Well, that answered that question very quickly. Covered the whole thing in hydraulic fluid. Oh, my laptop.
After a spectacular cylinder explosion on the tibia, we had to change those ones back. But the femur cylinders, they worked. Get back out there the next day, try it out again. Every test that we ran, it was walking just a little bit better, just a little bit better, just a little bit better. And like the only thing that kept us going was that we were seeing consistent improvement.
Look at how much better that's walking.
It's actually walking. Look at that. That looks like actual steps now. Oh, it's struggling.
We were like, oh, maybe if we just change this one more thing, like next test is gonna work. Next test is gonna work. Next test is gonna work. And we're like,
so how good are they trying to make it? Because it's technically already functional, right?
Months into testing and making marginal improvements, but it was like almost there, almost
Bogdan Thames Megat Hex. So
there.
oh, is that his name?
We've
Right.
upgraded our feed lines from the pumps to make sure we can get the full flow that the pumps can provide without a loss in pressure. We changed over the step over distance, so how far it's moving. We changed how fast
This
it's
thing
moving.
is so different and so fucking crazy compared to what they initially planned. They basically had the idea of, oh yeah, we just take apart 6 tractors and we slap them together, you know, and we just, and a little bit of coding, a little bit of programming, you know, maybe change the feet, and there we go, new thing. Nope, they basically rebuilt the whole thing. They had the base of the tractor legs and like everything, but basically every part has been replaced by this point, right?
Moving.
Like even the pistons in the tractor are different now.
There's a lot of changes, so
And the tractor arms.
expecting this not to work, but it kind of give us a better idea of what changes have what effect.
Okay, I see. Day 370, it's more than a year now. Oh my god.
Finally, we get this thing powered up. At this point, we have like no hope. So we're like, all right, one more test. Let's just go for it. And it took one.
Oh, look at its legs. That leg, both, a lot of the legs are getting fucked up.
Test. Let's just go for it. And it took one step. And it took the next step. And it took the next step. 3 steps in a row. Like, this is a good start. Like, keep going, keep going. And it just kept going and going. The
Oh, look at it in the
above
water.
ground. Nothing was failing. Like, all the sensors were reading properly. And just like one step after the next. And there was mud all over the ground. And it was just like,
And it was just
splashing
feeding
in the
it like,
mud.
ah.
Like, yes. Like,
That's
this thing just
insane.
walked across
That's
the
so
entire
sick.
Parking lot.
That is like the
We were
coolest thing I've ever
so
seen.
excited.
Oh my god.
It's like, all right, like turn this thing around, bring it back around.
Yes. It even turns. I mean,
This
it's
thing
got
starts
6
turning
legs, so that
around,
makes sense.
And we lose communication with the controller. And the thing just like steps on our trailer. And we're like,
Oh.
oh.
I'm willing to bet that we lost communications with the controller.
One of our wires ended up coming unplugged. But like we knew that like, okay, this thing is working. We had a couple of YouTuber friends come over. And
Oh, they should have done this as the final test. Just slap a person. Oh, this is the thing that I wanted to watch their other video on. Okay, we're gonna watch this eventually. 100%.
Glazer, Nigel from Now Red, and Ellen Pan.
Oh, I know all of these boys. Wait, Nigel?
It was Jake Glazer,
I don't know Jake Laser.
Nigel from Now Red, and Ellen Pan.
I think as long as
And Alan Pan I know as well.
we keep the fatality,
As in, no, as in I've watched them. I don't know them. Get on a little parasocial.
we're doing pretty good.
Driving around the power loader,
I love this thing. That's so fucking cool.
having fun. I looked at Ben and I'm like, do you want to drag this thing outside and like get to show it off to them? We power this thing up and just like the last test, we just gave her the forward command. I think they were blown away.
They're actually being piloted. So they did it. They did it. It's walking. I mean, mission success, right? There's upgrades to be had, sure, but
Here we go! Get up!
that's real life-size robots just walking around. These guys are crazy, man.
Following week later, we just
This
got
shit
to
wouldn't exist if they couldn't monetize it. That's why I'm glad platforms like YouTube exist. It's so shit like this gets made.
work, and there was just fog across.
I mean, entertainment, of course, entertainment. Channels like me, you know, where you just watch it to have some fun. You know, talking about having some fun. All right, I think you get
the
it.
entire facility. Dragged it all the way out to
I
the
totally
field.
shoot that.
Super cool. So walked around in the dirt.
I love the
threw up
fog.
some of our lawn.
Ah,
loader in the corner.
it's like so gritty
Seven
and
pumpkins
fucking.
with fog in the background. Like, and then I'm walking, I'm turning, and then just out of nowhere, like the side drop. What is going on? Get ready to
Kill
hit
it.
E-stop.
Kill it.
And I look over, and the leg
Oh,
is like completely
I called it. I called it at the start of the video. I said, oh, the fact that it's got 360 degrees of motion and not, or maybe not exactly 360, both left, right, up, and down. That's gonna fuck it over. And yes, oh no.
Mega hex. And I'm like, I could not believe my eyes. The thing is, these excavators, like, we were pushing these things way past the limits. I'm surprised they didn't fail earlier, to be completely honest. But yeah.
Yeah, look, the metal tore off. You have to rebuild it. You have to get. So they're gonna build new arms for it. Is that right? I mean, that's the next step, right? Actually, completely new arms that are built for this. They're keeping nothing of the original. Like, this is basically just a build from ground up. I mean, they use the excavators as like a fucking scaffolding to slap all the new parts on, and then they take the excavator part out and replace it with a new metal. This is basically built from the ground up. It's not as simple as just a few excavators turned into a new project. The excavators was used as scaffolding, and the actual final result is an entirely unique spider mech, the craziest thing ever.
The excavator frame just completely tore itself in half.
Oh. No!
Why companies go bankrupt when they build mechs.
That's why nobody builds mechs. It's not that companies go bankrupt. They have the foresight not to try this shit beforehand. And I mean, YouTubers, that the life force of stupid ideas, and I love this exists. That this exists.
Dig a big hole, put a bunch of cash inside, and light it on fire.
Brought it back in the shop.
Yeah, that, you know what? Probably true though. Probably true.
The whole thing welded. Next day, we take it back outside, ready to do another test. And same leg, different spot. Crash into the ground again. I go over to look, and the frame is just twisted and torn.
That makes sense. So previously the tractor part was broken, and they replaced that, but the damage of the tractor part wasn't just that alone. It's a compounding effect. I mean, that's how breaks usually go. It's, as I said, right? Every time something breaks, it will make another thing break faster. I mean, I kind of called the progression of this video earlier on. I'll be honest. I mean, maybe it's predictable if you've experimented with this shit before, but I kind of called it. Just saying. I think that deserves itself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a like as well.
Oh, that's good and bugger.
Yeah. Yeah. And it ripped on the other side too.
Like, this was a main part of the frame. This was gonna require chopping the
Yes.
frame again, realigning everything.
So do you build a whole new frame that will be able to sustain this kind of thing? Because this could happen to any other leg eventually, and then you'll have to do this whole process again. So do you build a whole new frame that can support more weight, along with new arms that will be able to tank this amount of stress? I don't think they can. I mean, do they?
New
Well, let's
bushing,
find out.
New body tubes, welding all around, new gussets supports. This was probably another 2 weeks to fix. And like, I looked at this and I'm like,
Honestly, guys, I think this might be the last test for this thing.
Oh no.
like, all right, well,
Uh.
better or for worse, we're done filming Mega Hex. The frame that the leg is connected to is now just ripped in half.
A single wire corroding, a single connection going bad could take days to diagnose.
And I think we have to cut our losses with this project.
Oh.
At this point, it's diminishing returns.
This is why we don't build mechs with legs.
There was no way that we could keep just allocating so much time and so much money to this project
Absolutely.
just to have it, take 5 steps and another thing breaks. We got our goal. It was walking. That was our goal. We reached it. And honestly, it was time to call it a day. You know what? Without the support of you guys and
Are they gonna? Okay. Please do more. I mean, part 2s don't do great on YouTube typically. An average episode 2 will get less views than an average episode 1, if you know what I mean. But I would love to see them actually make this thing fully functional and take it out and like show it off to some more people in real life. Like, imagine like legit, you could turn it into such a good Mr. Beast video if you take this thing out into Publix and like maybe not on the roads because that's fucking dangerous, I bet. But like where somewhere people walking by and they'll be like, oh my god, look at this thing. That's such great content, man. That's such a Mr. Beast video. That's like a fucking 30 mil view video.
Making continuous videos, there was no way that this was going to be sustainable. Like this project was so much.
They have to take the cash of this one before they can work on the next. If they work on, I really hope they make a second part.
So many different learning opportunities, but really, like completely honestly with you, we really should not have greenlit this project. This project should not have happened. It was way more complicated than we anticipated. We had way more issues than we thought.
Like, see, it was bad for the fucking bank, but like, just the fact that someone made a walking spider mech is insane. It's insane. I just wish someone funded this shit. Like, it's so sad that these people have to fund their own shit and like only get work with sponsors. I mean, what the fuck is the government spending money on? I'm sure these people, at least in some corrupt countries, you know, I mean, like, there's a lot of money going to people's pockets. Just fucking dedicate. So, like, be like, okay, I know I got a lot of cash. I can afford to give these guys. So, like, it sucks that, like, the most creative people are the ones that have the least money because they're working on their fucking creativity and they got bills to pay and shit to work on. It sucks.
The timing and the difficulty was just way underestimated. And literally the only thing that kept us going was you guys. Every one of these failures was content. It was going to teach us something. It was going to teach you something. And we really hope that that comes across on video.
This project is the reason we haven't been able to post as often as we normally would. And to make sure we
that makes absolute sense. I mean, if a good chunk of your team is 24/7 working on this and you got someone editing it, for sure, I mean,
journey in the best way possible, we initially edited a 3-part video series, but we felt like it didn't tell the whole story. We do think there's a lot of interesting detail in those videos, and so we've made each of those videos available.
Very smart. Get a few people to pay up, like, you know, at least of the 8 million people that watch this, 9 almost, someone 100%, yeah, like at least a few percent. Okay, maybe not a few percent. I have literally no idea what the percentage should be. I'll just say a decent amount of people will have, you know, become members on then at least to watch the Mega Hex thing. Maybe just partially to support them. This is a good idea.
I do not know if we're going to ever be able to do another project like this again. If you'd like to see us try something like this again and hopefully do so without coming near bankruptcy, please just subscribe, like this video, share it.
That's fucking crazy. They're almost
to anyone else who you think would be interested, and consider becoming a member because this was really expensive. Not just in terms of parts costs, but the amount of labor that went into this.
Crazy video.
All the engineering time, all the after work hours. We could not have done it without the support of our members. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for your support, and hopefully we'll see you guys back here with some other cool projects in the near future.
Well, that was sick. If you open the description, the very first link is their channel. Definitely hit it up because, I mean, well, watch the video that you watched for me just to give them an extra review, you know, it helps. And that is if you haven't seen it already. If you have, you know, you can still give it another watch. Just fucking boost them in the algorithm. And while you're there, also boost me in the algorithm by doing the YouTube thing for me. All right. I got you 2 videos right here. Fucking, yeah, like that. Okay. 2 videos right here. If you don't care, then whatever. Goodbye. Please watch, like, I got all the other shit I react to is really fun as well, even if it doesn't get many views because I'm a small channel. But trust me, like, just give the other shit a shot. It's worth. Okay, bye.